I've been watching, and I know you've been watching too. So come peep this. Hi, my peep family. I am Miss Series, and I do not miss a series, okay? I review everything that I watch. That includes from Married at First Sight and 90 Day Fiancé all the way to Billions and The Shot and everything in between. I have my master's in psychology, so we're going to use some psychology, some common sense. We know we need a whole lot of that for these shows, and some giggles, of course. So let's get to it. Today we're going to be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 1. So it starts off with the couple, Lindy and Miguel. Lindy's sitting at brunch. She's telling her friends, and they seem pretty accepting. But peep her black friend phrase. Peep her black friend phase when she's telling that she's, getting married. It's giving me very much, I don't even know you that well. Super uninterested. Why am I here? But it gave me the giggles, so I was all here for it. Okay, next we see Miguel, and he's in a whole bear suit. He is the game master. All his friends are in cosplay costumes, So he's really into this, because I know sometimes the producers, they like to push a narrative. The producers will push a theme on us in a minute. So I thought, his storyline was going to be like, I'm geeky, I'm nerdy, from when we first met him. But seeing him walk down the street in this whole bear suit, okay, this you. I believe it. I'm 100% in it. I believe that you are into the Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I believe it. I'm convinced. It's not the producers. This is all Miguel. And one thing I noticed about Miguel is handsome. He's a cutie pie to me. So Lindy's, she lucked up in that apartment. Lindy's, also pretty, but Miguel, okay, I see you, Miguel. My concern with Lindy and this couple that the experts have put together, Lindy comes from a very religious background. Now, religion in the sense of being restricted and confined, they couldn't do anything. So that type of rigid upbringing, you tend to see things in very black and white. And Miguel seems to have several layers, like he lives in the gray area. But they seem to be both emotionally aware, and they're also givers. So I thought the experts, they did okay with matching them. Next, we have Justin and Alexis. We get to see them. Justin tells his brother that he has applied to the process. Let me say that again. Justin just told his brother that he has applied to the process. So his brother was 100% in the dark. And I think that added fuel to the fire, because you told him that you applied, and now you told him that you're chosen and you're getting married in about 48 hours. So that was just the wrong way to go. His brother was not happy at all. And Justin seemed surprised by that. This remind me of, if you are an Office fan, you remember when Michael Scott told Pam that he was sleeping with her mother. And he was like, I pictured it going one or two ways, but never did I think it'd go bad. Huh? So Justin was like Michael Scott surprised. We wasn't. We were never surprised that his brother was going to be pissed off by it. So that's that. I thought that Justin could have, maybe braced it better. He just kind of went on and told him, and his brother actually thought it was a joke. His brother thought he was playing with him. And throughout the whole introduction of Justin, this episode, we kept seeing him talk about his looks. I'm tall, and I'm quoting this. I'm tall, dark, and handsome. He kept exuding a false sense of confidence to me. I'm like, nah. It's like he was hyping himself up. He's 6'8", lanky, but he's not like skinny or bony. He's not like toned. He's soft with it, because when he was jogging, his chest was bouncing. I don't know. He kept saying how women wanted to know if he was packing. They kept objectifying him like he was a snack. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, peep this, Justin. I think you're confusing inquiry with interest. Okay, like they might inquire about your shoe size, right? But they're not interested in buying you any shoes. They're not interested in even touching your feet. You know, women inquiring about you, about your package, it goes along the same lines. It's an inquiry, not an interest in it. Because inquiries, they just lead to questions and answers, you know, that flow. But interest leads to some actions, and you've been celibate, and I just don't think, this is my opinion, I just don't think that his story of being a piece of meat is what's really happening. He said that his ex-fiance left him because he wasn't making enough money at the time, which I can see that because that happens. The early 20s when he first got engaged. So yeah, your money not, moneying yet. So I can see that being a reason. So Justice started crying at the table because his brother was not excited. I mean, he was full blown, tears dripping. I was like, man, you wasn't expecting, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get the shock. He was genuinely shocked that his brother was like, what the heck are you doing? Okay, then we see Alexis, pretty Alexis. She was playing football with her 3 male friends, and all of them were cute. All of her friends were cute. They were short, but they were cute. They were cute. She said that she's been proposed to 3 times, but never said yes. She said because of her parents' failed marriage, it made her hesitant to get married or commit in the past. And she said she wants a fine, tall man. If we don't learn anything else about Alexis this episode, we're going to find out, we're going to know for sure that she likes tall, fine men and that she's been proposed to 3 times. Okay, next we see Kristen and Mitch. Kristen is having brunch with her friends, and she broke the news, and they gave the typical, response to it. I thought some of her friends seemed a little bit of, let's say, camera hungry, but we're going to leave that alone. But they seemed accepting, They said this is very Kristen, she's a risk taker. So it falls right along with what, they're expecting from her. We learned that she met her ex when he was couch surfing in her old apartments. Couch surfing in her old apartments. That's the one that she decided to get committed to. The grown man that was couch surfing. Okay, well, right before they got married, surprise, surprise, his side chick comes up to her and said, oh, well, we've been together 6 months. Like, we together. And so she ended up calling off the wedding, but she still went on the destination to, I think it was Key West. So she took all her friends there, and they just partied and had a good time. I said, this is the definition of turning lemons into lemonade. So you get some kudos, Kristen, for sure, but you're gonna need to be able to turn them lemons into some lemonade when we deal with Mitch. That's who they paired you with, Mitch. We're gonna get into it. I have a whole rant about Mitch coming up, but Mitch is 41. Oh wait, Kristen, she says she wants to tell her dad about the wedding on the wedding day. And she's supposedly close with her dad. So she's going to wait to tell her dad about the wedding on the day she's supposed to get married. Not a good idea, Kristen. I think you're going to be just as shocked. I think we're going to have another shock one, like, I really do, but we shall see. Okay, Mitch is 41. That's who they matched her with. He's 41. He tells his brother and his mother that, he's going to get married. And they were super supportive, super excited. Like, they can't wait for Mitch to get married and for, him to have his life and start having babies and all that kind of stuff. Mitch likes to pick up trash on the beach, and he is environmentally conscious. He describes himself as a loudmouth and have an inappropriate sense of humor and has commitment issues. This is him describing himself. Married at First Sight experts, listen up. Mitch described himself as being a loudmouth, having an inappropriate sense of humor, meaning being inappropriate, and he has commitment issues. And so y'all decided to pick him. He was the ideal candidate for marriage. Okay, peep this, Mitch. Peep this, everybody. I'm forecasting it now. We're not going to like Mitch. We're not going to like Mitch this season. I would be shocked. We're not going to like Mitch this season. I have a whole rant coming up about this, about married at first sight and their mismatches and their missing red flags. But we're gonna get to it like we get into it. Okay. He says that he yells at waiters if they do not fill his cup. It seems like he wants a combative woman. His brother says that he didn't think he was ready for marriage. Even at 41. Mitch is 41. He's one of the oldest married at first sight men. He's definitely the oldest from this season, but over all this season, he's one of the oldest. I think it might have been maybe one or two that were older than him. So he is 41, and his brother said, oh, he's not ready for marriage. He's giving me man-child. Entitled man-child. Mitch brags about causing scenes in public and being rude. And he's 41. I'm always leery of a person that brags about their negative behaviors. I don't get that. I don't get that. Next we have Ben and Morgan. Morgan is having drinks with her friends and she tells, hey, I'm getting married. She kind of just throws it out there real casually as a joke. I thought that was cute. She had a friend there that had a chipped tooth. Morgan did a flying knee kick to a friend's face. In a friendly sparring match, she flew through the air with her knee out and hit a friend in the face. Morgan, calm down. That's way too intense, way too aggressive. And the friend tooth is still chipped. So she didn't even get her friend's mouth fixed. And y'all, peep this. Peep this. It's the front tooth. So it's very noticeable. There's no hiding that. It is right there. It's the front tooth chipped. Still chipped. I think Morgan is a little too intense. She has that aggressive side. I think Ben was looking for a more soft or feminine woman. Now, she's still feminine, but I'm saying she's more alpha. And I don't think Ben was looking for that. He said he wanted a woman like his mother, that he says his mother's the kindest woman, real soft and sweet. So I'm thinking that's more of the lines that he was looking for. But Morgan doing flying knee kicks to the face of her friends. Ben, you better stay in line. But Ben fit, but Morgan knows some moves. She knows some stuff. So we shall see how that plays out. Next we see Ben breaking the news to his guy friends. And his guy friends immediately begin to tell us how cheap Ben is. That's why he can't keep a woman. They said, bro, you're too cheap. One of his friends went as far to say, your ex cheated on you because you were cheap. Too cheap. Now, I'm all about being frugal, money conscious, mindful of your bills, mindful of everything. But you don't be cheap with your spouse, with your significant other. You can save money. You can run the finances of the household, but don't short your wife. Don't be, too tight with the money when it comes to your giving to your woman. He says that he may take his woman for an ice cream, but she can't get a waffle cone. She got to put her ice cream in a house cup. Boys in high school are willing to treat their girlfriends to a scoop of ice cream in a waffle cone. Come on, Ben, you're a whole engineer, you're a whole man. Like, at what point is cheap disrespectful? At what point is cheap unkind? Now y'all get down in the comments and y'all let me know that. At what point is being cheap actually being unkind? Because I'm like, come on now. That's a little too far. He said for his woman's birthday and anniversary, he's going to give her stocks. Don't give me a gift you want me to have. Give me something I want. That's what you do to your significant other, to your wife, to your girlfriend. You give them something that they want, not just any kind of stocks and something that you want them to have. You give them a thoughtful, tangible gift. Now, if you want to give me some stocks, fine, but that can't be it. That can't be. That's just the icing on the cake. It's not the cake. Give her something she wants, Ben. Don't be like that now. That's beyond. Come on now. Don't. You know how to court a woman. You're a grown man. You've been in relationships before. You know to be thoughtful and be caring. That shows that when you give them things that they want. Not no stocks and no buns. Come on now. Now that's the whole gift. It can be a stocking stuffer. It's definitely worthy of a stocking stuffer gift. Ben says, I would trade my master's degree for a wife. Come on now, Ben. That sounds stupid. I have 2 master's degrees and it interfere with love 0%. What are you even talking about? I would trade my refrigerator if I could have a wife. Like, huh? One has absolutely nothing to do with the other, especially in your case. Oh, by the way, when we say cheap, we mean not running the air conditioner cheap. He don't run the heater cheap. He coin surfs in couches. He eats peanut butter and not peanut butter and jelly. Just peanut butter sandwiches. Not even jelly. Peanut butter sandwiches every day for lunch. And he's an engineer. So he has disposable income. Of course, he surely has lunch money. He eats peanut butter sandwiches every day for lunch as a way to stay frugal. But he's a cutie pie, so we'll see. I hope that he's willing to compromise and show some flexibility with his spending habits, because that's not going to get it. It's just not. I'm waiting to see more of his personality this season. Next, we have Nate and Stasha. Now, Stasha's a boss in the full meaning and strength of the word. She's a leader. She's competent. She's confident, but still seems soft and feminine. She is so pretty. Her and Alexis are giving us looks this season. They are definitely coming with the looks. She's 37, making her the oldest woman of the season. I think one of the oldest in Married at First Sight history, because I don't think we ever had a woman that's 40, but she's 37. She doesn't look it. She's very pretty. She said that she's addicted to 2 things: coffee and success. I said, huh? Coffee and success. I said, okay, I got you. I knew we were here. Yes. She emancipated herself when she was a teenager because she didn't want to move. Her parents were moving and she didn't want to move with them. And this is the thing that rubbed me the wrong way, because that's part of life, is change, having to move schools sometime. And I know that I can't speak for her mother, but as a mother, if my child didn't want to stay in the same household with me, they'd rather, be with their friends at the same school. Like, those 2 things don't equate to me. And so she emancipated herself and lived with a friend throughout, the rest of her high school years. So that just shows me that she's the type of person, even though she was a teenager when she made this decision, that wants what she wants when she wants it. And we can see that same mindset manifested in her adulthood. She seems very demanding, very straightforward, regardless of how someone else may take it. Because she told Pastor Cal, that on her first date, she asked him his credit score. Like, how, so she's very straightforward. I want what I want. I need to know this now. I don't care if it's inappropriate, make you feel uncomfortable. Come with the information now. And so she's been like that since a teen. So we shall see how it plays out for the rest of the season. She says that she requires a post-num. And I'm all for prenups and postnums to protect your coins, to protect the assets that you acquired before you acquired a spouse. I'm all for it. So but that also means that Stasha has some coins. Now, Nate, on the other hand, I don't think he has coins like that. I just really don't. We meet Nate at his friend's house. He's, gathered everybody to tell her the news. And his friends, let's just say that you wouldn't put him with that friend group. But they were supportive. His friends seemed very supportive of him doing the show. One of his female friends asked, okay, so how would you respond if your wife didn't like you to have female friends? You have a lot of female friends. And he was like, well, that's something we'll have to discuss, but hopefully she's, comfortable with it. But we shall see. Nate has baby plaits. Full-blown baby plaits. They need to go. But he is tall, he's handsome, he's fit, but he's 6'2". He's not tall like Justin tall. He's 6'2". He's a day trader and says that he is now financially stable enough to be a husband. We shall see. He gives me Elijah one minus the aggression. So we shall see. Now things start picking up. The brides meet the brides and the grooms meet the grooms. Alexis shows up giving us hips and thighs and body. But all the women were looking nice. They were having drinks and talking. The guys, they're playing volleyball. Then Ben is going to start off the whole groom meet and greet thing with a lie. Ben started off with a lie. He going to tell Mitch, you don't even look 41. Where he don't look 41. Where, point to the area. The proximity of the area will do. Where, because he could go for 51. Mitch could go for 51. Alexis tells the girls how she's been proposed to 3 times. And her proposals are a little because, okay, one happened in high school and the other 2 college. Now, what I consider a proposal is a planned event or at least a planned moment where the guy gets down on the knee, has a ring, has probably spoken to your dad or your mom at least, beforehand. Like, it's a planned whole moment. And I don't know if all 3 of her proposals were given that. I don't know. Justin is saying once again how women just look at him like a piece of meat and how they want to know if he packing. They're not. I just don't think that they're asking you that like that at that frequent rate. I just don't think so. That's just me. Anyway, Mitch says that his biggest fear, Mitch says that his biggest fear is him not being attracted to his wife. This is a 41-year-old, bald, dad bod with no children. I don't know, he's not a dad, but he has a dad bod, pale man child. Peep this. That should not be your biggest fear, Mitch. That should not. You not being attracted to her should not be your biggest fear. Meanwhile, Kristen is describing her worst fear. That's who he's matched with. And she's actually describing Mitch. She's describing her worst fear, worst case scenario, and she is describing to the T Mitch. Old and never been in a committed relationship before. Come on, maths. Come on, the experts. Putting people together with legit their worst fear? We have to do better. Kristen says that she can work past no initial attraction. And I thought that was good because that just shows her maturity and also her commitment and awareness for what she signed up for. She's saying, hey, if I'm not attracted to him, I know I can find something to latch on and that attraction will grow later. So I thought that was really mature of her. Nate was on the volleyball court giving us very much Steve vibes. I mean, like, I live out the car, but I'm great at recreational sports. Nate is describing the type of woman he wants. He wants a go-getter, ambitious, independent. He is basically to the T describing Nastasha. So I thought the experts did a good job with that. But I hope that Nate can bring those attributes to the table as well. Like what you dropping on the table. You want her to have all these things? Okay, what do you have? So I want to make sure that he can at least meet his expectation of others. Ben says that he loves volunteering and helping others. And then you can hear Mitch in the background say, I hope she's civic-minded. Talking about his wife. I hope she's civic. Nobody even asked you, Mitch. I have a whole rant coming up, y'all, about this. Let's continue. Morgan wants to travel and Ben is frugal. Okay? Morgan wants to travel and Ben is frugal. It's giving very much Jose and Rachel. Rachel wants to travel the world. Jose wants to go up the street. And they are both doing those things separately. They are no longer together. So we shall see how that works out. Come on, we have at some point we gotta learn Married at First Sight. Like, these two things don't go together. The women are talking to Nastasha. They ask her a question and all of a sudden Lindsay cuts her off and just start chatting away nonstop, no breathers. Alexis says, Lindsay talks a little bit too much for me. But I think the girl was just nervous. And I want to say, this is my opinion, I think that the other women this season are way more established and alpha females. And Lindy is just not meeting that same criteria. So I think the girl was just trying to get in where she fit in. Like, okay, I can talk now. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not going to stop. Next, we have when Lindy says that she will walk all over her man. And that has me nervous for Miguel, because Miguel is super sensitive, and in the past he has allowed women not only to walk all over him, but to mistreat him. And so for Lindy having that stance of, oh, I will walk all over him. Why would you want to walk all over someone? I don't want to walk all over anyone. Why do you have that desire to walk all over your man? So something that she probably should have addressed before she signed up for the show. But then Miguel's hits us, his sensitive self, Miguel's hits us with a nonsensical point. Okay? That served us our first super awkward moment of the season. So congrats to you on that. Because the guys were looking around like, what? What? So congrats to you, Miguel. Next, the couples go shopping. I love this part. I'm just going to focus on Alexis and Justin because they're the only ones that got married this episode. Alexis has no idea what she wants. She said, I haven't had a dream board of this since I was 5. You know, she wanted something conservative, but ended up picking something a little showy, giving us something there. And I loved her dress. I loved her outfit. Her friends really was pushing her to be more risque, you know, not so conservative. She had her girlfriend there and also one of her male friends that we met earlier. And I thought she made a perfect fit outfit choice for her. I thought it was giving. Justin trying on suits, and his brother and his nephews come. And once again, Justin is overdoing his cocky and super confident persona, but then he has a moment of honesty. He says that his biggest fear is that she won't be attracted to him. And I was like, okay, I would prefer you to be honest than to pretend like you're overly confident, you know, and that you are constantly being objectified by all these women. I would really like for you to stick to your authentic self, because he was honest. He was like, hey, that's my fear. I don't know if she'll really, you know, like me, you know. And I love the suit that Justin ended up picking. I really love it. It was giving us classic Harlem Nights. You know, I really like his choice. And I think that Justin has to just kind of grow on a person. I don't know. I think he needs a beard, though. I think he can let a beard grow on him while he's growing on us. I think that's something he can do for us. Now we get to the juicy part. The Bachelor and the Bachelorette Party. Yes. Peep this, Married at First Sight. Where are the male strippers? Donde estas male strippers? Where every season we see the men have a full stereotypical man's bachelor party with strippers, everything. But you always send the women to a random place where they dancing for themselves, with themselves. Like, what makes you think that they don't deserve a full bachelorette party? Like, have you ever been to a bachelorette party? Because what you're giving us is not it. Like, do better. This is season 15. Do better. Thanks. So we see the guys at their bachelor's party. The strippers are dancing on them. Justin says he don't like strippers. They don't do it for him. And this is the one thing that makes me think just a little bit, that maybe he was getting women, because of the men I know that are not into strip clubs, that are not into strippers. They do very well with the ladies. Very well. So maybe, you know, Justin was out there doing his thing for a point of time. Maybe. For a point of time. On the other hand, we have Nate. He was super into the strippers. That was like, he was in his element. He was in his zone. He told the girl to get down, put whipped cream on her. And I'm like, okay, wow. Like settle down. You engage. Like, calm it down. Ben said that he was going to call his mama after he consummates his marriage. That was his thought. That was his words. He said aloud. He spoke them out loud. He said, after he consummate his marriage, he going to call his mama. Why would you even want to do that? I don't get where that desire would come from. That I got to call my mom, let her know that I was intimate with this one. Why? That's weird. That's not, I don't know. Mitch's brother gave an interview to the producers where he says that Mitch will bail out on a relationship. Like, that's his thing. He pew. He'll be out of a relationship real quick. He's never been in a committed relationship. He refuses to change, adjust, or modify his behaviors. His Mitchness, he says. Mitchness. So I'm like, that makes me so nervous for Kristen. Lindy tells the girls that she wasn't allowed to dance. She never danced before. You know, so I'm like, okay. That makes sense because she was looking really out of place, really uncomfortable. She says she's never been to a formal dance, you know, because of her, you know, religious background. So I was like, okay. And I just want to say that she was looking uncomfortable there. But even if you weren't in a religious background or, you know, have some type of backstory to why you're not dancing there, the club scene is not for everybody. She just looked really out of place, like, I guess I'm here. Stasha says that she don't mind her man getting attention as long as he keeps it respectful. And I thought that was a good, you know, stance for on her behalf, because Nate look like the type of guy that likes a lot of attention. Like, look at me, I'm here. Nate has arrived. That's the kind of energy he gives, but she's able to deal with that. So I was like, okay, because she's secure enough in who she is and what she brings to the table. Like, okay, so he can get this attention, but they're not threatening my spot. I said, okay, Stasha, okay, I see you. Then the girls having a conversation about men's turtlenecks. You know what I'm talking about? Men's turtlenecks. And I agree with Alexis. She said, I'm not for the turtleneck. You know, like, I wouldn't know. I'm not for the turtleneck. And crew cut, please. Crew cut, please. Thank you. Justin and his big brother have a heart-to-heart that leads to another big blow-up that goes absolutely left. Because Justin's brother doesn't believe that he's ready for marriage. Like, he's standing on that 10 toes down, like, you're not ready. And it ends up with the brother cursing him out and Justin standing there looking like a kid that just missed a school bus. I mean, this, and also in this scene, Justin Jeans was giving us hips and hips and hips. But yet, you know, they seem to hash it out at least. Maybe just clear the air. That's sometimes what men need to do, just kind of clear the air. They weren't ready to listen to each other. So maybe when they get together later, they will be. Because like he said, he really admires his brother. His brother is someone that he looks up to. Even though he is a grown man now, his brother has to realize that he can make his own decisions. And with those decisions, sometimes come mistakes. So, but he, you know, he's prepared for this decision. So his brother should kind of like back off, in my opinion. Like, state your purpose. State that you're upset. Which you already done that when I told you what I was going to do. But now just kind of, you know, because the gas is, you know, on the floor now. We're matching it full blown. I'm getting married in some hours. So just leave that at the door. But we shall see. Now, it's the morning of Justin and Alexis' wedding. Justin is laying in the bed without a shirt on. His shoulders are so small for his frame. I just thought that they were small for his frame. Alexis is getting ready. She's psyching herself up, trying to get those nerves out. You know, her bridesmaids come in to wake her up, but little do they know, Alexis been up because she gassy. She been up tooting. She wasn't asleep, y'all. Y'all didn't have to wake her up. No, y'all didn't have to wake her up. She been up. She was tooting all morning. She said when she gets nervous, she get tooting. So she was like just tooting all morning. She was up. But yeah, so they laid her hair. Her makeup was absolutely flawless. Absolutely flawless. Just the nerves start to kick in. Like you can sense it through the TV. He was nervous. But he said something that's really positive to me. Something that I think more grooms should take the stance on. He said he wants to please his woman, fulfill her needs physically, emotionally. Like he ready. We already know he's coming through financially because that's what he failed to do, you know, in his previous relationship. He said, now I'm at that point. I'm a giver. I am here for this. So I'm like, okay, Justin, I see you. He was looking very nice in his suit. Alexis was looking gorgeous in her gown. So we ready. Alexis' mother shows up and Alexis absolutely breaks down. I mean, she breaks down like a little kid that just fell off her bike. She was boo-hooing. Boo-hooing. Nevertheless, she makes it down the aisle. Justin is standing there at the aisle. He waited. When he sees Alexis hit that corner, he started smiling like he was ecstatic. Absolutely. She was looking gorgeous though. She was flawless. She was looking gorgeous. He started thanking God and everything. I said, okay, Justin, you know what you got? Alexis' face expression, her smile never changed. It didn't increase. It didn't decrease while she walking down the aisle. It was just frozen. But she was smiling. But yeah, But I have a whole rant coming up with it. So, yeah. Peep this. They're standing so far apart at the altar. Like, Justin is 6'8". He had to stretch out his whole arm and lean forward to just grab her hands. Like, they were apart at that altar. Did y'all peep that? I peeped that. She was not standing close to... Did y'all see it? Okay. As long as y'all seen it and I seen it. But that's what happened. They're acting real silly, talking a lot at the altar, just getting those nervous bugs out. So they recite their vows to each other, and their vows have so much in common. At one point, it's like they were quoting each other in their vows. So I thought that was very good of the experts. I'm like, okay, experts, y'all kind of match two like minds, together. So we shall see. We shall see. So after the I do's, they do the 3-string ceremony and also the jumping of the broom. Me and my husband, we done the jumping of the broom. That's something that happens frequently in African American marriages. So I thought it was real nice. I really like that part that they incorporated that. So now there's the talk after the wedding. After they didn't walk down and they get to do that little one-on-one chat for the first time. And she says, Alexis, he's not awful looking, but he's not my type. He's uncomfortably tall. And I understand her. I understand he's uncomfortably tall. And he kept high-fiving her and saying girls and girls. I was like, oh, Justin, don't friend zone yourself. Now, guys, when you are in the friend zone, it is incredibly hard to get out if she's not attracted to you. So if you know that there's not any initial attraction there, do not get into the friend zone. Fight tooth and nail. Don't get into the friend zone. And especially don't friend zone yourself with high fives and girl this. Don't friend zone yourself, Justin. Make sure, because it's so hard to get out if there's no initial attraction. So don't put yourself in that zone. Don't put yourself in that position. But Alexis called it out. She said, I don't like that high fiving. I think it's kind of corny. I don't like it. Stop it. And so he was like, okay, cool. All right, I'll stop. But the thing that has me hopeful for Alexis' attraction to him, even though he's not her type, is the fact when she got something out his eye. He had like an eyelash or something in his eye. And I just think that's such an intimate act to do. Like, I only want to get something out my eye or my son's eye. Like, I really don't want to touch, adult eye to get something out, So the fact that she did that showed to me that, hey, she's willing to build some type of intimacy there. So kudos to her. I am hopeful for this season. I am hopeful for all these couples. We shall see. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I always reply to my peep fam. Let's get it.